So we got the countdown and we got our races up and running.
And we're off.
So we got Infinite Mystery going to Middleman first and CasualTom going to Quickman first. Both of these actually good starting levels for the most part. Both of them have easy to get E-tanks, especially in Middleman stage where you can actually get 2. Meanwhile, CasualTom doing Quickman stage where you can get an E-tank and an extra life. These are 2 of the usual normal stages to start with, along with Flashman stage where items are not that big of a deal and the stages are relatively short.
Yeah, we got a pretty vanilla looking Metal Man stage, minus the gears not showing up in the back. But interesting choice because he's not going to be able to use item 1 for any of the zips in Metal Man stage.
Well, zips are not necessary. It definitely helps. It's more of a luxury than anything. They only save just a handful of time. So, and of course, if you miss said zips, you're pretty much gonna be wasting time. Probably more time you could be saving.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that.
So, for those that are new to the randomizer, I think we should, well, as Infinite Mystery takes an unfortunate death, we're gonna talk about just a fraction of what's randomized in this randomizer. Retro, pop quiz again. Tell me all you know that's randomized in this randomizer.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is everybody sees, obviously the enemies are randomized. The weapons and bosses and all the levels are randomized. I believe you used it better to say the weapon attributes are randomized. The items are not randomized except for item 1, right? Item 3 and item 2 are identical.
Right.
The weapons that these runners are actually going to receive after they beat these bosses are randomized. The letter layouts are randomized. The positions of the items are randomized. Let's see. Come on, you can do it. Let's go retro. Let's see. The pits in Wily 4 are randomized, except for not the pits in the second area of pits, if I'm correct.
The third area.
The third area of pits. Okay, I'm gonna get there, Creed. I'm gonna get there.
But he pretty much did a good majority of the jobs, as CasualTom beats Airman in Quickman's room and Flashman in Metalman's room, and the runs continue as CasualTom continues on going to Bubbleman, while Infinite Mystery decides to roll the dice and goes to Heatman stage. Heatman stage is one of the more dangerous stages to do early, because of course you got to deal with the lava, and if the enemy set can be treacherous, this is just a very worrisome stage to try and traverse.
Yeah, we see CasualTom doing the bubble zip here in Nighttime Bubble Man stage. I like the color schemes. We got some very vibrant, very effeminate colors going.
CasualTom
level colors.
There we go. CasualTom successfully doing the Buster only bubble zip. It almost looked like he was about to miss it. He turned left a little bit early, but was able to squeeze through and managed to zip properly. That's one of the easier
mystery. Taking another death in Heatman stage, or do you think he purposely gamed over to change the stage?
Didn't quite see the intent behind what happened, so I can't really say if it was intentional or not. At least not for what I've seen. But regardless of the matter, Infinite Mystery does decide to take a different route after the game over and decides to go to Quickman stage, while CasualTom is just entering the boss door for Bubbleman's room.
Oh, another thing of note for those new viewers that we have is obviously we can choose multiple avatars now as opposed to Mega Man for our randomizer, and here we actually have Infinite Mystery playing bass. Is it bass or bass? Oh, what a slow, quick man.
Yeah, we're still stuck with musical terms. It's bass.
It's bass. You know it's all about that bass.
But yeah, as Casual Tom continues to go to Flashman, the character sprites you are able to choose are, of course, normal Mega Man base, as you see on Infinite Mysteries, and you can also choose Roll and Proto Man. Those are the only four that we have available for the time being.
Have we had a runner pick roll yet?
I want to say we have, but my
Not
memory
in the
is so I don't
tournament.
remember.
See, I'm gonna have to play next year. That's it. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Next year, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be a racer. I'm playing roll.
Well, I'm a guy that like to play all sprites, so you might be seeing playing roles sometime in the near future. Well, regardless of the matter, you see Casual Tom pretty much having a pretty clean Flashman stage. Infinite Mystery trying to recover from his death from the Force Beams in Quickman stage, but picking back up quite nice as he's on his way to Quick Room, where he's about to face Airman.
Ooh, and this looks like we may have an inverted wood shield.
Yeah, as we mentioned, weapons have randomized attributes. For the Leaf Shield, the randomized attribute that it has is that its vertical and horizontal firing positions can be randomized. In fact, that either side can be reversed, and they are independent of one another. So you can have a properly horizontal Leaf Shield, but have vertical reverse shooting, and then vice versa. And of course, both directions could be randomized to go the opposite direction.
Well, we have Infinite Mystery beating Airman here in Quickman stage, as we watch Casual Tom take on Heatman.
And Heatman looks pretty susceptible to the Buster this time around. To know, we are playing on easy mode. The reason we're playing on easy mode throughout this tournament is mostly for accessibility, especially for our newer players, and especially because normal is a completely different beast that can even wreck even the toughest of randomizer runners.
And here we have Casual Tom picking to go to Woodman along with Infinite Mystery.
Keeping in mind that Infinite Mystery is still a Robot Master behind, so that's something to keep track of. Looks like we got the Quick Boomerang taking out these hot dogs rather quickly.
Interesting note that the hot dogs are a sprite that isn't randomized here in the randomizer. We were discussing, I don't know if it was in another race, about the reasons why that was.
Yeah, some mid-boss sprites are really hard to deal with in terms of randomizer. This is why you don't see the Angler Fist boss in Bubble Man stage. Also, the Jumping Metal Fish in Wily 3, those are right now really hard to code in to be randomized, as far as I know.
I can understand. I mean, one, I would think a lot of it has to deal with the pixel size, and trying to even just move those over into other rooms. Plus, if you have everything random, I can imagine that, God forbid, a dog was, say, here in this room, that could cause a lot of glitching and other kinds of issues, being kind of caught up in the walls. I could see it having a whole host of issues from a designer perspective.
There are some changes within the randomizer, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But for right now, we got Infinite Mystery, the first in World Room, where he fights Bubble Man. Let's see what kind of attribute Bubble Man decides to do. Seems pretty normal. Starting off with Quick Boomerang. Quick Boomerang is effective, but it's not doing so much damage. But Infinite Mystery decides to just keep plugging away with it, and eventually does beat Bubble Man.
Yeah. Not shooting a lot of bullets, but here on Casual Tom's screen, he's doing the exact opposite. But Casual Tom took him down really quick with the regular pea shooter.
Yep, another Robot Master that's Buster susceptible. So Bubble Man pretty much got his bubble bursted very, very quickly.
And Infinite Mystery on Bubble Man stage, and Casual Tom tackling the Heatman debacle.
Another curious decision. Probably deciding that he got item 3, he just want to go ahead and just take care of Heatman as soon as possible. Pretty sure he might just be okay with Yoku blocks, so he just doesn't mind doing that. But with item 3, he's probably gonna take care of the second half and try to zip through that specific area.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he wouldn't try something else for item 2, but he's probably saving his worst for last. Airman is a notorious stage, and Crashman being the longest stage, and also has certain issues that I would say regarding what may be in those elevator rooms, or just the length of the stage in general being difficult.
Infinite Mystery having a little bit of trouble in the underwater portions. Usually not a guy that normally tries to zip. Infinite Mystery probably gonna wind up not trying to do the zips at all, so he probably gonna huff it au natural as he just trying to defeat all these Metroids, them M544s. As CasualTom successfully does do the item 3 zip.
The M514s.
M544s.
M544s. I wonder what the original purpose that Dr. Light created them was for.
Well, those enemies are actually kind of like miniature versions of the Wily boss in Mega Man 1.
Which boss was that?
It's that large bubble boss in Wily 3.
Oh, okay.
So Infinite Mystery and CasualTom are going to their respective boss rooms. Infinite Mystery is going to find Quickman, while we're going to get some new information and see who's in Heatman's room. And we're dealing with Crashman this time around. Really can't tell how Crashman is acting right now. Well, we won't know because Heatman's weapon just pretty much just torched him.
That was a super fast takedown. What was that, 2 shots of heat?
Yeah, I want to say that might have been ultimate weakness strength. One of the new additions for this version of the randomizer are great and ultimate weaknesses that pretty much deal insane damage depending on which robot master is weak to a given weapon. Of course, we won't know because the weaknesses are randomized. But that might have been an ultimate weakness.
Wow, interesting. Very rare to actually see that. Now, Buster Shot will never be an ultimate weakness, right?
No, it will not.
Okay.
Well, we got Infinite Mystery tackling Flashman stage, while CasualTom is slowly traversing Airman stage, being really careful, because Airman stage, as mentioned before, is one of the most notorious and more dangerous stages in the randomizer.
A lot of pits of death, and then with all these little creatures running around, he's got frogs and birds and crushers and everything in his path. The randomizer did not choose to make an easy Airman stage for our 2 runners here.
Yeah, pretty much ranges from very tedious to extremely dangerous depending on the randomized enemy set. I will probably say this is one of the more tedious enemy sets instead of outright dangerous. Although the frogs could have done something really crazy, fortunately that wasn't the case on Tom's end.
Thankfully, those crushers are just one-hit kills.
Yeah, at least you're doing quite a work for Tom to see. Meanwhile, Infinite Mystery is about to go to Flash Room, where he's gonna fight his boss.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, CasualTom is making very good use of an inverted wood shield. Which I would generally find that to be extremely difficult, just based on habits alone.
It can be rather hard to, well, we found something that, oh wow!
Ooh, beautiful kill by Infinite Mystery on Heatman.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. I think that was great weakness strength for Leaf on Heat.
Infinite Mystery taking the long-winded Crashman course. At least we get to see a new boss here. CasualTom making quick work of Metal Man and Airman stage. Let's see if we got an item hidden here. He gets item 1 as a reward for his efforts.
Well, whether item 1 is good or not is going to depend on this seed. To remind all the people that are new, item 1 is the only item that has a randomized attribute. Its duration and how long it lasts is randomized, and how high it goes is randomized. So, looks like we got a really good item 1, very long lasting, and goes very, very high. This is prime zipping material, as CasualTom has so graciously shown us as he does the metal zip.
Yeah. I'm watching Infinite Mystery have a little trouble in these elevator rooms. Thankfully, that Chanky Maker... Oh...
Actually,
never mind.
Actually, it's the Springer enemy that I'd be more concerned with. That is a surprising enemy that can actually block you, and yep, Infinite Mystery misses the boat. Gonna have to wait another cycle for it to come back.
He could make use... Oh no, he's only got item 3. Now,
No.
item 3 will not ever... Like, no matter how many times you let it bounce, it's still gonna go off screen. So, I can't see that being a... It's an unfortunate set that he only has that one item. It's funny how that little Springer guy is just stuck up in the air like that. He looks sad and defeated.
Yeah, we get a few enemies like that. Those hermit crab enemies are one of the ones that does that as well. So we got CasualTom going to Flashman fight in Metal Room. Decides to dig for weaknesses.
Nice. Air seems pretty effective, but I'm gonna pop to a different weapon.
Well, the kind of air that we got does allow for 2 hits per shot. It's just fortunate that the air shooter allows that many tornadoes. For a randomized attribute, the air shooter can actually be potential to fire only 1 tornado.
Well, we actually watched, I think it was CasualTom's last race, where he ended up shooting Wily down, and I think that was like an ultimate weakness, right? So Wily also has an ultimate weakness, and he coincidentally found that? Or just
No.
it coincidentally got that?
Now, when we're talking about Wily, we don't actually do ultimate or great weaknesses. Ultimate and great weaknesses only work on Robot Masters.
So he just happened to have hit him once or twice with all 3 air shots in a single burst?
Yeah,
Maybe.
because the alien, if we're talking about the alien has no iframes, so you can just pretty much just mash in. Every shot will hit with no repercussions or projectiles passing through them. Anyway, CasualTom was able to successfully do the item 1 zipping crash, going straight to the midpoint, getting some major time gain. While Infinite Mystery is about to go to the Crash boss room where he fights Woodman. We're gonna see how Woodman acts.
Ooh. Well, hopefully it ain't a slow wood shield. Oh, this looks like a decent one. Metal not looking like it's effective here. Going to heat.
Heat not being any better. Decides to pop in the leaf shield to see how it acts. It's effective, but still doesn't do a lot of damage. CasualTom still doing a really slow climb, and Infinite Mystery wisely deciding to pop that E-Tank. You'd be surprised how many people ignore to use their E-Tanks in situations like this. It's usually better to pop an E-Tank rather than waste time and die.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's a very, very common thing, especially with speedrunners, because you end up feeling like in the background you're in a race. And so you're trying to cut as many little bits of seconds as you can, taking those risks. And unfortunately, with great risk, you know, is the larger likelihood that you're gonna fail. The reward might be great, but much bigger likelihood you're gonna fail.
Well, Infinite Mystery decides to run back Heatman stage while CasualTom's about to fight Woodman. And he decides to dig for weapons. looks like air might be decently effective. Yes, it is. It's a good soft weakness, and CasualTom just literally blows.
Infinite Mystery having some trouble here with the crabs and the... what are the cloud guys' names?
We're just gonna keep it English and just call them Lightning Lords.
Lightning Lords! That sounds good. So CasualTom going here to Wily, where we get to play our favorite game. Creed, you know what the game is, don't you?
Yep, it's that time again. Get your Crayola knowledge out, so it's time to guess the color of the Mega Dragon. And as always, for extra credit, guess that weakness. As Infinite Mystery takes an unfortunate fall right at the end of the first set of screens.
I feel like we have a very effeminate scene, so we're probably going to have a somewhat effeminate dragon. So I'm going to say coral pink, fuchsia, and maybe a metallic gray.
I'm just going to keep it simple. Just going to say purple dragon with, let's say, leaf shield weakness.
Leaf shield weakness. Alright, I'm going to go vanilla. I'm saying quick.
CasualTom continued to make his ascent to Wily 1 on his way to the dragon. Infinite Mystery taking a very cautious approach, making sure that he actually makes it to that final gap, and he does. So he should be able to make it to the midpoint very easily now. Of course, we like to remind our viewers to follow our runners as they're going to be entertaining you tonight. Shout out to our tracker Prodigy, handling the Robot Master weakness, the Robot Master X's and the items.
Yeah, we never give enough credit to our trackers. And to be honest, even as commentators, we get thrown off if the tracker doesn't do his job. So it's always to have a great tracker, always got to give him props.
Well, I could have been right with a slightly monochrome dragon.
I didn't get my fuchsia, but I got close. I still got my light pink and my metallic gray color.
With
it's ooh! Oh, look at that, Creed! I got a triple whammy.
Brava.
I got two of the colors, and technically, you know, having light gray and dark gray, I went light pink and dark pink, you know, but
sure, let's work with semantics.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just reversing the logic here. Infinite Mystery heading the rest of the way through Crash, riding the item 2 all the way down. Oh, and CasualTom taking a death on the ride. Creed. We've been trying to come up with a name for this gap. I believe you were the first one I was discussing this with. Have we decided on this death gap yet?
Spikeway intersection.
Spikeway intersection. I like this. Taking a ride on the Spikeway intersection. CasualTom's gonna have to refill his item 2 here if he's gonna get across safely. Unless he attempts that item 1 zip, but I don't think he's going to do that.
Well, with the item 1 he has, it's most certainly possible. But just for the sake of safety, I think it's wise to go ahead and just use the item 2.
Now, just to let our viewers know, our runners have no idea where or what the other runner is doing or up to. So, being in a race makes it also a lot more difficult to decide to take these types of risky maneuvers.
CasualTom opted to ignore the crash doors, probably going to wind up checking out the weaknesses for those when he fights the booming traps. Meanwhile, Infinite's going to traverse his final Robot Master stage in Airman. Considering what we've seen so far, they're not that far apart. Trust me, we have seen a few randomizer races that have a much further gap than this. So this is not too bad. CasualTom can still make several mistakes in later Wily stages that Infinite Mystery can potentially catch up. Well, that's not
Ooh,
gonna help.
no, that's unfortunately not going to help. But Airman stage is difficult. There's a lot traversing this Airman stage specifically. When you think about the little beam things on the bottom, which I don't have a name for, and you know, like I said before, the crushers and the chirpy birds and the frogs, the lagphibians, I think we started calling them.
Yeah, we just adopted the lagphibians on the fly. It makes sense in context.
It does. It's kind of a quirky name that I think works for our viewing audience.
Well, we got CasualTom fighting the Pico Pico bosses.
Now, Pico Pico's always pink. I guess that's one thing that isn't randomized. Oh no, wait, is Pico? Yeah, Pico Pico's pink, but the tiling is randomized color-wise.
Yeah, the actual tiling that you see is the only thing that's random. Once they actually start attacking, they result to their original colors.
And this is the vanilla weakness for Pico Pico.
It's one of the vanilla weaknesses, Bubble being the other.
Yeah.
And we could have had a god weakness if CasualTom was to do so. Leech Shield one-shotting a Pico toaster.
I felt like the Metal Blades were one-shotting also, though, weren't they? It's just very slow.
No, that's one of the caveats of weapon amounts. Usually, when we're talking about weapon amounts,
oh yeah,
the more weapon energy a weapon uses, the more powerful it usually is against enemies and bosses. So the Metal Blades in this case had quite a lot of weapon energy. So to balance the damage out, it resorted to using a lot of blades in order to destroy a Pico Pico unit. Whereas if it was using a lot of weapon energy, then the Metal Blades would have had a chance to one-shot.
Yeah, I was trying to read the tea leaves there. You know, if it's a Sniper Joe tea leaf, I get it right off the bat, but if it's anything else, I sometimes sit there very stumped as to what it could possibly be.
Well, I didn't get to take a look at the splash animation, so I wouldn't be able to guess even if I tried.
Infinite Mystery getting here to the boss of Airman, where I believe it was Metal Man, right?
Yeah, and a very easy Metal Man it is, so Infinite Mystery should not have too much trouble, while CasualTom is about to fight the Gust Tank, and we're about to see what the weakness is. It ain't Buster weak.
Look, we have the Jolly Green Giant. Or Hulk. No.
CasualTom can change the different weaknesses. It looks like we're gonna have ourselves a hard to find weakness, or a really annoying one. And yeah, we find a fully charged heat as at least one of the weaknesses for the Gust Tank.
Very quickly, I would say. Now, would that be a major weakness or like a mid-tier weakness?
Kind of hard to say because one, we still don't know what the second weakness is, as the Gust Tank, excluding Buster, has 2 weapon weaknesses. Right now, considering the weapon ammo used for the atomic fire, I would say it's definitely one of the stronger weaknesses.
So we see CasualTom go here through the level. You're gonna see random pits that aren't gonna necessarily be in the vanilla place, except the room above this. Now, those are always vanilla?
Yeah,
not the room above the room above this one. Yes.
Yeah, the room above this one, their fake platforms are vanilla.
Smart use of Creed, could you explain that one?
Explain what? I missed it.
The bubble, he shot the bubble to test the floor, and as opposed to the bubble falling through where the pit would be, it actually elevated and hit the ceiling.
Oh yes, that's one of the randomized attributes for the bubbles. Whenever it goes off the ledge, it has the option to either go straight up and crawl across the ceiling, or go straight down like in vanilla.
Casual Tom navigating basically these pits of death, what we've called the Great Educator or Equalizer. And
the Great Equalizing Educator.
The Great Equalizing Educator. Infinite Mystery about to go face our dragon. Oh, but taking a little bit of a dive, so he's going to take an extra moment. Nothing in this room. Well, Casual Tom's got it lucky here.
But because of the emptiness, I didn't see his item count. He probably didn't have enough items and then doesn't trust himself to try to go through that thing fast, so he just decides to take it the safe way. As usual, is better than dying.
Yeah, definitely. He's, for the most part, he doesn't really, need to worry about, any of that. He does actually have a lot of items, too. I think he's feeling confident with his time. Might be what it is.
Well, we don't know the mindset of our play. Oh, the dragon was actually bunched the entire time. CasualTom never checked.
And the great thing about watching our other runners catching up is that we can actually sit there and see some of the things that we missed. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait till the end of the game. Now, CasualTom never tested the walls, did he?
No, he flat out skipped the walls in Wally 2. So we have no idea what the weakness for the walls are. And as a consequence, now he gotta have to search for 2 weaknesses at once while trying to dodge the booming turret shots. Well, it looks like we found one weakness. We know that the quick boomerangs are for the booming turrets, but we still need to know what the weakness for the walls are. Infinite Mystery also foregoing trying to check the wall weakness. CasualTom better pop in that E-Tank, and he does. He has plenty. No excuse not to use them.
Very smart move by Mr. Tom.
And it looks like we find that metal was actually the wall weakness.
Always that second page. Most of the time, I guess most runners usually check wooden metal first, right?
For the booming turrets, yes, at the very least. Or air if the air shooter is more vertical than horizontal.
Well, CasualTom going to his refights, doing very good. What is his PB, do we know?
Well, to be fair, since we're talking strictly randomizer, we don't necessarily track PBs.
I know generally it's a personal thing, especially with newer runners.
Well, regardless of the matter, Infinite Mystery finds Metal Blaze as a 2-shot weakness. Oh,
now,
yeah.
He didn't test wood, did he?
No, he did not. And this is what I was talking about in terms of damage proportions. As you can see, the Metal Blades actually shoot, let's see, you have 1 blade per unit tick. So, as to balance the damage out, it deals more damage to the Pico boss as a result.
Oh, testing Crash. Does Infinite Mystery? Yes, he does. He has 2 E-Tanks here. Alright, testing wood now and finding its effectiveness. Nice. Nicely done. As Infinite Mystery heads on over to Wily 3, CasualTom going, he's halfway through his refights now, fighting Bubble Man. And very Buster weak Bubble Man.
At this point, it's pretty much all CasualTom right now. He pretty much has, for the most part, this race in the back end is his race to lose. I really don't quite see him losing this first match. But we don't know what the Wily Machine is going to hold, but you know odds are we're still going to expect the Wily Machine to be Buster weak. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. Well, I think so far this tournament has been, I swear the numbers have been fudged. It has been closer to 50-50. So far. so far.
And yeah, looking at the tea leaves, yo, those are bat sprites.
Those are bat sprites. Well, you guys have it now. Those are bat sprite tea leaves. I can only guess the Sniper Joe ones.
So CasualTom has now officially finished his rematches, and now we're about to see if the Wily Machine is yet again Buster Week.
I like these Hulk colors we've been having.
Hello, we got ourselves the champion here.
Ooh. Alright, time to hunt. And he's really low on air and really low on heat. And those are two weapons that ain't gonna be enough to finish Wily.
Well,
and
that's
quick.
It ain't weak in the second phase. One of the things about the Wily Machine, when the Buster is not a weakness, is that weapons can be locked between phases. As you saw, the Quick Boomerang Mine worked on the first phase, but it didn't work on the second.
Oh, finding Bubble weak. But that also, at this point, makes a third weapon that he's not going to have enough energy for to defeat Wily, not being able to pick up that pickup at the end. I saw him run to it. I was hoping for him. Infinite Mystery checking on the Jolly Green Giant. Hunting for weaknesses there. What was his weakness? Do you remember?
Well, we found heat to be one of the weaknesses. We do not know the second, as CasualTom decides to wisely take the time to refill on suppressive.
He's not gonna take that E-Tank though, is he? No, he's not. Infinite Mystery having to have to go back half the stage.
Well, Wily 3 is a very short stage, so this death isn't as bad as it could be, but it's still unfortunate for taking on the Gust Tank for so long.
Alright, CasualTom coming to his Wily. Is Wily gonna be Jolly Green Giant color too? Or Hulk? And it doesn't look like it. Blue and green. And it's a P-weak Wily.
Kami-sen has blessed this fight.
To Kami-sen and pick the seed. Oh wait, we have a new box to do that.
But yeah, GG's to CasualTom as he finishes in first place of this best of 3 with an official SRL time of 37 minutes and 22 seconds, which for his race, this is a PB by about a minute and 40 seconds. GG.
Nice. GG's to CasualTom for a new recorded record, at least. And we're going to sit here and watch Infinite Mystery finish up.
Yeah, still kind of struggling with the Guts Tank.
Oh, but found Crash. Crash is the second. No, it's not.
No. The flashing can be a little bit of a red herring.
Threw me off. I think it was the sound. I'm still trying to acclimate to the random noises and sounds that these weapons make.
I'm surprised. I wonder if it had. There we go. Now he finally finds heat.
Is he gonna take that? Oh, he gets the kill. Nice, by the neck, win there against Guts Tank as we move along to Wily 4. He'll actually find this a very easy Wily 4. So he was lucky in that regard. As was CasualTom, not having need of any of the 3 weapons that he was too low on ammo to kill Wily with.
Yeah, there could be worse enemies for Wily 4, and especially since the elevator moving platform sections were virtually empty, you could just pretty much just safely traverse the area with relatively little issue.
I'm wondering if he's gonna. No, he's not gonna do the bubble trick. He actually managed to just assume where the pit might be. I wouldn't say assume. I would just say guessed. But not gonna guess and take his chance here on the second set. Do you think it's just those pits look more intimidating?
Well, when you're dealing with instant death, you're gonna take a little bit of extra caution as opposed to just falling down a screen or two. So Infinite Mystery on the moving platform sections. Seeing that we have a few enemies on this screen, I'm surprised. Seeing the frogs here, I'm surprised we didn't get any in the screen after this one.
What I'm actually surprised about was that Frog only spit up one baby when I've always seen him spit up 3. And now I feel like asking, that can't be randomized, right?
Nah, it spat out 3. It's because of the spacing that the frog was enclosed in. It's such a narrow gap that only one is able to actually get out, while the other 2 is still stuck in the gap.
Oh, I see.
The little thing that scrolled by the credits for those new to the randomizers, that near the end you see the damage table shard for the Worldwide Masters and the Wily bosses.
Hudson Soft always made some of the best games, in my opinion.
Shoutouts to Bomberman. So Infinite Mystery still trucking along pretty tightly, deciding to continue his run even though he already has officially lost the match. But every once in a while, we like to see our runners just continue on, never giving up. That's one of the things I always liked about Infinite Mystery. Infinite Mystery is known for racing multiple games for hours at a time. People probably knows him for like stuff like the Big 20 races. I'm pretty sure he was in the next Cathalon that was done a while back, the Tiny 10 for the Game Boy games. He is a true marathon runner, playing games literally for hours, and does it all for fun. Just for the fun of racing.
That's always impressive. You're making me a fan of Infinite Mystery.
He's a guy to be a fan of. Trust me. Seriously, one of the nicest guys I ever met.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this next race. Infinite Mystery definitely having fun with this. And everybody really can have fun with Duckfist's Randomizer. It's definitely made for everybody. Rated E for everyone.
But yeah, Infinite Mystery did find that he first found that quick word weak to the boobing turrets, while he now just finds metal for the walls. Skillfully pause buffering to pass through the boobing turret fires.
Finding quick relatively fast. And you guys actually get to see some pause buffering here to avoid the hits from the boo beams. Now, we actually have been doing a lot of discussion on pause buffering lately, and you were explaining to me about the concept of pause buffering and why it actually works the way it does.
Well, I can only know so much about how pause buffering works as far as how this game implements them. But yeah, it's one of the more fascinating things as far as Mega Man 2 goes. As you can see, Infinite Mystery was using pause buffering to let projectiles pass through them. And of course, we know that pause buffering helps deal with vertical speeds, reducing them to 0 so you don't fall so fast. It's kind of a marvel how the programming of Mega Man 2 tends to work in general, not just with pause buffering.
Well, yeah, even the level layouts, how the zips work even, where if you can, in certain stages, overzip and end up in Wily's castle and completely hardlock the game.
So we got Infinite Mystery starting his refights, got 2 down, got 6 to go. Should be done relatively smoothly. Of course, he still probably needs to worry about dealing with our Buster Immune machine whenever he gets to that point.
At least he finding quick works pretty effectively against wood. I think that was one of the last items he did check for wood, didn't he? Choosing not to take an E-Tank here, but he gets the win. And gets the life. Nice.
Cluster it out.
There's a lot of occasions where if the health pickup ends up on that elevator, you teleport before you pick up the health. And Infinite Mystery taking a death here against Bubble Man.
He does have an E-Tank, but I'm assuming he's probably going to save it for the Wilding Machine. In this case, I can understand with him having only one E-Tank left. Especially now that we know that the Wilding Machine is Buster immune and he's going to have to do some weakness searching. Having that E-Tank is going to be really important for him to try to continue and move on.
A very predictable patterned Metal Man, always effective and useful. Yeah, he's making sure his life stays full for this fight.
Take a little bit of time to talk about Airman, because Airman is probably one of the most annoying robot masters to deal with, because as you can see, his tornadoes that he shoots pretty much fire in random directions, in random places across the boss room. Usually he can get a really defensive Airman and have his tornadoes just pretty much envelop him before they move on, which pretty much lengthens the fight and just makes Airman really tedious.
I also, the suction behind him, so even standing behind him, you're getting pulled into his body, and he actually has very damaging body hits.
Infinite Mystery dealing with his last robot master, Flashman, who actually is in his vanilla teleporter.
Now, would you say... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was about to mention his very quick Time Stopper burst and his very short cannon fire as well. He's a quick shooter this time around.
Yeah, he's faster than Quickman. And Quickman was fast, he just died very easily.
So Infinite Mystery finally makes his way to the Wilding Machine. About to get the unfortunate news about... no Buster this time around. Time to do some digging.
He might need to take that. How many lives does he have left?
I've been keeping track. We can't expect too much lives left.
Now, you have to hit the glass shield of the Wilding Machine in order for that hit to register, correct?
That is correct.
Now, it looks like when he shot that wood, it kind of hit the undercarriage, not necessarily the glass window.
Well, he finds Quick Boomerang, which is one of the weaknesses for this particular phase, but we also know that the Quick Boomerang does not stick to phase 2, so he's still going to need to find another weakness.
Going back to P, not the P.
P will never be a weakness if the machine is Buster immune.
Ah, yes, I remember that now. Try and Leaf, and Leaf works.
But will he have enough health to do so? I think he does.
No,
it's gonna be really close. The iframes are helping him quite a bit.
Got it. Beautiful.
The iframes are literally your best friend in this fight. Your invulnerability hitbox usually lasts a long time in this fight. That really helped Infinite Mystery survive this match.
And he'll he'll be happy to know that Wily is Buster only, so this is going to be just a nice happy walk. He doesn't want to take that risk though, does he?
Nah, when you're new to the randomizer, you never know what his Wily might have. And decides to stick to the weapon that he already has. Probably going to use that first rather than use Buster.
So, if CasualTom wins this race, is he guaranteed a spot in the next bracket? Or he's just guaranteed a potential to tie for a spot in the next bracket?
Actually, let me pull up the challenge right quick and see where CasualTom is as Infinite Mystery fight the alien. So yeah, with Casual Tom winning his first match, he definitely has the driver's seat to going into the final bracket phase.
And the only one he has left to go is Squid.
Yes. And that's it. GG's to Infinite Mystery as he finishes.
GG's to Infinite Mystery.
And he finishes with official SRL time of 50 minutes and 14 seconds. GG's for Infinite to tough it out.
Yes, we always enjoy having this little extra commentary time where we get to throw more Mega Man facts and tidbits your way. And we just got the seed for the next race. So stay tuned as our runners load up the next run.
So as we got a few minutes, we would like to once again thank you all for coming over from SpeedGaming 2, where we got our Group E matchup between CasualTom and Infinite Mystery. This is CasualTom's second race, coming off a victory in his group race against HJA, while Infinite is in his first match. Right now, CasualTom is up 1-0, and we're almost getting ready for our second race.
Well, definitely, let's go and see what this seed has in store for us. So I guess while we're sitting here bantering, waiting for our runners to get everything together and get the new seed started, I was gonna say, tell us more about CasualTom as far as where he came from.
Well, I haven't been keeping much tabs on CasualTom, but from what I've been hearing, he's a part of the group called the Snubsters, who tend to play a lot of Mega Man games, do a lot of Mega Man races, a lot of gimmick races like Buster only or using specific weapons. He's also been known to mess around with a lot of hacks and fan games as well, which is something I should be interested in. I should be keeping more tabs on him more often, knowing that.
Well, hacks definitely help in this randomizer, especially because that's catered towards the hardcore difficulty settings, and this being completely and totally random, I mean, you might have an easy seed that you can fly through and you get all your items in the beginning and you can do all the neat tricks and quirks, but you also have that possibility of getting a seed as crazy, ridiculous hard as anything that you'll find in other hacks.
So yeah, we're almost ready for our next match. We've seen that our racers are getting prepared. We got one that's rating up right now. It looks like Infinite is just about ready himself. So we should be getting a countdown within the next minute or so. So what do you expect from match 2, Retro? What do you think we're going to be seeing? Do you think Infinite Mystery is going to wind up getting himself together and catching up, or do you see CasualTom continuing and routing the match?
Well, how I see it, based on Infinite Mystery's gameplay, he's having a lot of fun. I think we're going to see a much better run this time around. I'm sort of curious whether what you know, if it could just be like breaking yourself in and warming up, and a lot of times you'll see a much better run out of the losing runner the second time around. And as we had mentioned at one other point, you know, even just playing the rest of his run, you know, kind of gives CasualTom a bit of a reset. So that might actually, not to say throw him off his game, but he might need a level or so to kind of break back in. We have an interesting Proto Man versus Base run this time around.
CasualTom decided to switch sprites from Mega Man and going to good old Proto Man, as we actually do have our countdown, so we're about to get ready in a few seconds. So ladies and gentlemen, we're about to have match 2 of our best of 3 between CasualTom and Infinite Mystery. Let's go and see what this particular seed is going to have in store for our racers.
Let's go. Infinite Mystery getting